Good morning and welcome to another video. Today you find me doing a sunrise shoot, which I've not done in Scotland yet. This is the first time for me, and I've come to quite a popular spot called Glen Orchy. I've got up at 6 o'clock, no, 5:30, set off at 6 o'clock, driven for about an hour to get here. I was here yesterday and here scouting a new location to shoot, and I found a really nice spot just past some Caledonian pine woods. So I'm going to go shoot the sunrise and see what happens. I'm going to have to talk and walk because I am running a little bit late to get the sunrise. So just a quick little recap on what I'm doing. So I'm off to a location which is, and I don't know what the Scottish word is for a tarn, but that's pretty much what it is. It's a body of water just up in the hills, and is a really beautiful reflection of a snowy capped mountain in the background. Really clean reflection, and the conditions are really similar today. There's absolutely no wind. The sky is a little bit hazy, but that might add to the scene, might give it some sort of purpley pinks in the sky. But that's the aim of today, is to pop up there and photograph that really nice reflection. So here I am, just arrived, and this is the shot what I'm lining up here. So you can see the light is, it's kind of not here, not there at the moment. The clouds are covering the snow at the top of that mountain over there, which is what I wanted, and the reflection isn't as clean as what I wanted as well. I'm going to try and wait for the wind to die down. I'm going to line up a composition, one of these rocks in the foreground, and I'm going to frame something up vertically and see what happens. So this here is the composition that I'm looking at, but I'm going to take it vertically instead of horizontally like it is now. I want to sort of frame that rock and just get it nice and centered towards that mountain in the background. The light is sort of happening, and I'm hoping it will change as the sun gets a bit higher. It starts to light up that mountain in the background, but at the moment the wind is picking up a little bit as well. It's not as much of a clean reflection as I wanted to, but I'm going to hang around for a bit and see if the conditions change. Been here for about 30 minutes. The sun's risen, the clouds are looking a bit too overexposed at the moment, and the blue sky's not quite cutting it anymore, so the light's kind of gone. But as I've been walking around, I've noticed there's all this ice what's built up just around the edge of this bit of body of water here, which is creating some nice sort of diagonal shapes in the foreground, and that's allowed me to get lower and sort of block out all of the ripples in the water there. Because when I was back at the other point, it was a bit higher up, you could see quite clearly where it was rippled. It's a bit weird. So as I've got lower down, I've focused more on the ice there. I've taken quite a few shots to try and focus stack, probably about 5 shots into one to make sure all the foreground is in focus. There's different exposures, so I'm going to have to blend them in Photoshop, and if that shot's any good, well, here's the shot. So for now I think that's the best of light from this location here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to head back down the hill from where I've come up, because as I was walking past, you'll have noticed on the footage from earlier that there was some frost on the trees, and as that light becomes to come a bit higher and starts shining on all that frost in the valley, it's going to rise up with some mist hopefully, and that's going to create some really nice atmospheric shots. So I'm going to have a little trip back down there and hopefully get some good shots of those pine woods as well. just as I'm walking back down the hill, it kind of got me thinking about photography a little bit. Getting those shots back there is just made me sort of appreciate how wonderful photography can be. I'm just going across this lovely river now, but it really makes you appreciate how you can capture sort of unique moments with your camera, and a moment that no one else has ever captured before. I don't tend to go to all the typical scenic routes or the places in the world where it's too busy and everyone sort of gets the same old shot. I came on a walk yesterday with my friend, had no idea this place was even here. I knew about it, but I didn't have a clue what it would look like, and I brought my camera with me just to have a look and sort of scope out the scene, and it's basically brought me up here today for this sunrise and hopefully getting some really unique shots, which I assume no one's ever got before, at least with these exact conditions. That's what for me photography is all about, is getting those shots in the wilderness as much as you can, and just being as creative as you can rather than going to the same old easy spots and getting the easy shot. So here we have behind me is some of that Caledonian pine woods that I mentioned earlier. Right in the background there, the hill is called Ben Duran. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that is just over 1,000 meters high, so it's a big old hill. And down here you can sort of see the pockets of the pine wood that used to cover much of the highlands here. Now unfortunately there's not much of it left here, there's just those little pockets dotted around amongst all the Sitka spruce around here. But hopefully if we're delving a bit further down, it's going to be a bit more frosty. I'll get some nice shots of those pines if I can. As I've been walking around all of these pine woods, I've discovered this little composition, which is sort of like a ball shape, like a nice little curve there, and all these pines sort of drifting up like that, and got all these branches going either side. And I've kind of separated each of the trees, so there's gaps in between, so everything sort of has its own position. What I'm going to do, I'm going to shoot this vertically, and I'm going to take a panoramic all the way around, because when it's shot in just one shot, I'm going to want to crop it quite tight, so it's going to be about a 3:1 composition is what I'm looking at. So I'm going to do some vertical shots, stitch that all together and do a nice little panoramic. So with that previous shot, I ended up not sort of doing vertical panoramics because the light was just going instantly like that, so I didn't have time to snap shots and get even light throughout the whole frame. It's hidden behind some clouds behind the hills, so every time the light came out, it was out for a split second and then it was gone. So I had to take it off the tripod because my tripod is not big enough. I had to hold it right above my head, and I had it at 1/50th of a second, which is still not fast enough, but hold it really still, snap the shot, so I can get that higher elevation, so I can cut out more of the sky, and then that's it really. It just really quite difficult to get with that shot, so I just ended up getting it in one frame. But that's going to be it for today, I'm afraid. So I'm going to start wrapping up because the sky is blue. It's not really ideal for the woodlands, the environment that I'm in. The conditions didn't really turn out what I really expected it to turn out to be. I was expecting sort of some mist to rise as the sun started to rise up and heat up the floor, but that's not really happened. Everything's just a bit flat now at the moment. So I'm going to start wrapping up. I'm going to head back to the car, and I'll do a little montage at the end of this video of pictures that I have captured throughout this little visit and the visit that I did yesterday when I brought my camera. So thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next one.